I mean, it had a special way of drawing you to God. Yeah, not like the other instruments are not doing any important role, but the sax had the special way of drawing you to God. So I was
For
like,
sure, for sure.
this thing looks complicated with all the buttons on it, but I must learn it. That's what I told myself. I told myself I must learn it. And so what made me to learn the sax is the melodic sound it produces.
Oh.
Yeah, and the way it pushed me to worship more. So I said I will learn it and maybe use it as well to lead others to worship. And yeah, that's what pushed me to learn.
Well, no, I think every instrument has its place.
Exactly.
This can be debated.
Right.
Every instrument has its place because you're playing the drums here. There's a way it's going to play on an individual, and if you play the sax, there's another way it's going to play. For how long have you been playing the saxophone?
The saxing form 4, that is 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, masters 1. That's 6 years today.
6 years.
6 years today.
Well, please.
Well, I can say 6 years I've been playing. I can say I've played the sax for 6 years, but counting the years when I was really engaged. It's 4 years now. Because when I learned the sax in Form 4, I think the sax I had was a second-handed sax from my dad's friend, which got back. And so I only got a new sax again in level 1. Then I got in here. That was a gift from my auntie on my birthday. So level 1, exactly. Level 1, 2, 3, and now makes it 4 years.
I think what I must tell you is that it is not coincidental. They keep offering you those instruments, guitar, saxophone. I think it's a kind of way that God is speaking to you.
That's right.
Yes, with these instruments. Look at the gift your aunt brought to you for a birthday.
That's right.
Yes, you have to take it deep into consideration, and I thank God that you are taking it deep. For all these years that you've been, these few years that you've been playing the sax, what has been the impact that is on the lives of those who hear you, right? I mean, you must have heard them make comments, 1 or 2, where you're playing the sax today, I came troubled or something. What's a testimony?
Okay, I would like to begin by saying every instrumentalist produces what comes from within. It's like a bottle of, if you take a bottle of anana, top anana, when you pour it out, only anana will come out from that. If you take a bottle of maybe Malta, if you pour it out, only Malta will come out from it, not anana. So I think it all begins from what we carry inside. So I would say while ministering, there is always an aim for administration. So if I pick up the sax today and I'm like, okay, I want to draw people to worship more, obviously I will pray that as I'm ministering, God should pass through the music to pull people to worship, because everybody can play sax. But the effect on the people who are led to worship God will be different. So I think it starts from there. Then secondly, I've gotten much feedback after ministrations. People have said things like, we started worshiping, but when you came in with the sax, it was like you went to a higher realm or something. And people have said they got deeper into the worship session thanks to the sax. And I think that should also be because it is, when you look at the Bible, you see it's some sort of a prophetic instrument, because each time you look at the people who had to surround the wall of Jericho, they use horns to blow. When you look at the book of Revelation, when you see the 7 angels with the 7 seals, they just blow trumpets. You don't hear a drum or maybe a piano. So I think that is also an additional factor.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's the feedback I've gotten.
This is wonderful. I don't see there is something you spoke about sound. There is a kind of way that sound plays with our emotions. I don't know, to you, right? When you listen to sound or to music, which part of your human system does it affect? Which part of you does it affect that can tune to start like, Lord, you are great, Lord, you are mighty? What prompts you or carry to that level?
What part of me is being inspired? I think it's just my spirit. My spirit, yeah, because music is first of all spiritual before being physical. Yeah, and music itself is some sort of a spirit.
For sure.
Yes, because let me give a simple example. You get into a taxi and maybe you get the sound effect from the speaker of the taxi,
Yeah.
and maybe it's giving a particular rhythm. Soon you find yourself tapping your foot or
Sure,
maybe
sure.
shaking your head. So that's how music ministers well. So in music, it ministers first to my spirit, and then from there it leads me to worship. Yeah.
Okay, it ministers first to your spirit. All right. There are many kinds of music. There
Yeah.
are slow music and ones that tap. Want to call it praise that can make it jump. Which one ministers to you?
While I was growing up, we had more of a cappella songs and worship. Yeah, so I think the first genre of music I used to listen to only was worship.
Okay.
Yeah, worship was the only genre of music I used to listen. I remember I had my first memory card in classics, and all the songs that were inside were just worship songs.
Worship songs.
It was later that exactly. It was later that I started listening to praise songs. Not that praise songs are bad, but people have preferences sometimes depending on what you need spiritually.
Sure.
So I started with worship, and then later I started listening to praise songs as well. Fast songs, like in those days, what used to ring was Eben. We had Sinach, we had Frank Edward, we had NK, and some artists like that who used to produce some praise music. So
Yeah.
Later I started listening to that, but the base is worship.
The base is worship.
Because that's the genre of music that draws me close to God.
Wow, amen. I think, like you say, it's based on our spiritual demand, because somebody can listen to a slow song. God could be using that to break something in that person. Another person might want to listen to the one that will only make you dance and dance and dance, and it's playing a role. So as God is building us differently, I think those sounds come to differently, ministering to our spirit differently. Okay.
Let me just make one comment on that.
All right.
It also, not that praise songs are bad. People have different means of relating with God. For example, maybe David preferred to dance. Like you read, David danced to his wife that he was almost mad. And then other people will prefer a still atmosphere. For example, when God wanted to speak to Moses, he was in a quiet bush.
Yeah.
So it fully depends on your spiritual sense of perception. Some people get God clearly when they are in the mood of dancing and
That is it.
shouting praises to Him.
Exactly.
Some people get God better in a quiet atmosphere.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God, beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a powerful one there. So